Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese. And as you can see, we are back for our Week 3 NFL picks. I am joined by Tony Barbosa and Gilbey Santos, a very happy Gilbey Santos, who even himself did not expect what happened to his team last week. I'm not sure how Barbosa's feeling, but we'll ask about that game when it comes along. Um,
Uh,
not a good time for the Colts, but Gilbey
no.
found a way with Malik Willis to get a win. Unbelievable. And now reports Love might come back early, so we'll see. Maybe they'll give him one more game, but we'll get to that when we speak about Green Bay. I 100% think Willis will start this week as a revenge game against Tennessee. I don't think Love will play this week, but we'll get to that. Just for everyone's edification, week 2 was horrible. There was upset city all over the place. I mean, we had Kirk Cousins win a game with a last minute comeback on prime time. Now, as much as I'd love to eat crow on that, that was the Eagles choking it up worse than the football that was thrown up on by the Green Bay Center. That was a choke job and a half. Okay. And by the way, Barbosa, the same Eagles team last year is this year. They're a big choke artist of a team, just like last year, with no defense whatsoever. And the fact that Kirk Cousins has 75 yards and 3/4 against that bad defense means he's still shit. He just got enough chances to come back. Um, but let's start with the records. Three of us had 7 wins last week. I just want to verify who those three were. Um, oh, sorry, 8 wins. Jose, Tony, and myself had 8 wins. Gil, oh, you had a rough time of it, my friend. 6 wins for you, which leaves Gil at 516 and 16. That's the start I had last year. So let's hope Gil can make a comeback. Uh, Myself and Jose are 19-13, and Barbosa are 18 and 14, hanging in there. But the first 2 weeks are always like this. There are no perfect records. There are no great records. This is what happens because the NFL teams are in the preseason because they don't play preseason games. Now, Jose is not here today. I do not know what's happened to him. We will provide an update if we find him somewhere. But I was really looking forward to seeing him on the show because he wanted to kill Barbosa's Colts. But since he's not here, we'll have a nice show today and see what Gil does to Barbosa's Colts.
Let's not talk about the Colts when your Niners also choked that
Listen,
game.
you're going to hear about the 49ers from me. This was not a good game at all by the 49ers, but we'll get to that. Let's start with our picks, though. Let's go to the Thursday nighter. The New England Patriots, who have looked way better than anybody could have possibly thought the first 2 weeks, barely losing to the Seabags in overtime. They go to the Jets, who look every bit the average team I thought they were, barely squeaking by Will Levis 24-17. Both teams are 1-1. This game is in New York. Let's start with Gil. He's your old quarterback, average Aaron, as I like to call him. Who do you got in this game?
Well, I like the Jets. I think they should win. Probably field goal game. Rodgers still looks average. I think he's still adapting. But they'll just keep giving the ball to Hall just to save him from to get him out. But I think the Patriots will keep it close. They've been showing grit all year. 22 games. Can't get too excited, but for a team that we expected really nothing of, they're actually doing pretty good with Jacoby Brissett right now. At least they look decent. They're making a game out of a game, right? They're making
Yeah,
the ball.
yeah. Okay, so you have the Jets. Yeah, New England's run game has shocked me. That's been the biggest difference, and their defense has been very good. Barbosa, who do you got?
Yeah, this is a tougher game than a lot of people expect it to be on week 3. Uh, but they are at home, so I'm gonna take the Jets. I think, Rodgers starting to, last week it looked better than week 1. I think he's starting to gel a little bit, and yeah, it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a close game, but the Jets will win. I think. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's gonna be by a field goal.
I'm as I did last week when I picked Tampa Bay to go to Detroit and win, which was very satisfying in a week of upsets. I'm taking New England in this game, and I'm taking New England because the weakness of the Jets defense right now is the running game, and New England has one of the best running attacks in the league right now with Ramondre Stevenson and Gibson going crazy running the ball. If it's a low scoring game, I give New England every chance to win a low scoring game against the Jets. And the Jets haven't shown that their offense is running at full cylinders right now. So I give New England a big chance to win this. They've owned the Jets over the years. And I haven't seen enough vintage Aaron Rodgers to prove that he's made a massive difference offensively for them. So I give New England a big chance to win, and I'll go for an upset here and take the Pats over the Jets. Um, I need to see more from the Jets other than Breece Hall running the football. Um, the Jets offense hasn't impressed me so far, and New England has went into Cincinnati and beat them. So I got no reason to believe they can't beat the Jets. So I'll take New England. We'll get Jose's picks after, guys, just us for now. So we'll see what he has later. Now let's go to the Denver Broncos. Gil, it has not been a good time for Bo Nix. He has taken a rookie beating, as bad as Caleb Williams, who we'll get to. 4 picks, a lot of sacks, a lot of way too much time holding the football. Denver's run game is non-existent, and their receivers haven't been good. They go to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucks, who have been ultra impressive with Baker Mayfield being an early MVP candidate. I'm not wasting any time on this one. I have the Bucks pretty easy in this one. It'll be low scoring because Denver's defense keeps them in games, but I got the Bucks. Gil, who do you got?
Well, I'm gonna probably take Denver as the upset, and I'll tell you why. We have to also realize he played two very good defenses. He played the Seahawks in Seattle, and he played Pittsburgh. Two defenses that are not easy. I think the Bucks' defense is still good, but not as fierce. And I think it'll let him come out of his shell a little bit. And just for the record here, all of the 3 quarterbacks still haven't even have a touchdown yet. So
That's correct,
that,
including Jason Daniels, including Daniels. Yes.
correct. So, you know, all three of them having a rough start. We've seen Peyton Manning was only had 2 wins in his rookie year, and look how good he was, right? Like we
Yeah.
can't
He
just
threw a lot of picks.
Yeah.
yes. So let them develop. Let Sean Payton. I think in the long run he's going to be good. That's my opinion. I'm going to stick by it. As you can tell, my fantasies, I still haven't kicked him out, and I'm riding him. So that's how much faith I have in him. So I think Denver will pull the upset. Everybody's on Baker, and I just think
He's been
Knicks is
good,
going.
Gil. He's been good.
Yes, they've been all over. But just like you said, how the Patriots went into Cincinnati and nobody expected that. This is what this one's going to be.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Tampa Bay could be too high on the britches. Barbosa, what do you think?
I'm gonna take the Bucks. They're at home, and like you said, Reese, they've been playing. They've been playing well. They're all of a sudden Mike Evans is like the old Mike Evans, that Super Bowl winning Mike Evans, Goddard. Um,
Yeah, Godwin was the
they're
show
they're
last week. Godwin was
yeah,
excellent last week.
they're a stacked team, and Baker's balling right now. So I'm gonna take the Bucks and their defense hasn't been pretty bad either. Their defense has been holding up. So I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Yeah, they pretty much stuffed Detroit last week. So their defense is good, not great. I agree with Gil, but I like this Bucks team from the beginning, not just because I hate Atlanta, but I thought they could win this division. But the New Orleans Saints, who we'll get to, have stunned everyone. So as I said when we did our preview show, there's always a team that we expect to be garbage that surprises the league. And so far that's been the New Orleans Saints, who we'll get to. Now let's go to my Super Bowl favorite, the Houston Texans, who looked okay against the Bears, not great. The Bears defense played well. Caleb Williams had multiple chances to possibly win that game, but couldn't get out of his own way, couldn't hit more, threw a bunch of picks. It was just not pretty for the Bears offense. Swift got bottled up. They go to Minnesota to take on the surprising Vikings, who kicked my team's ass last week with a 97-yard touchdown from Jefferson, Brock Purdy making multiple mistakes, and just Debo leaving the game early. The 49ers haven't won in Minnesota in 7 games. And I think the last time they won there was in the 80s. I should have known that when I took the 49ers last week, but they just don't have a good history in Minnesota. This is a lot tougher game as well than I thought. Minnesota's another team that nobody expected to be good, and they're 2-0. Barbosa, who do you got in this one?
This is tough, man. It's a tough game. I'm gonna take the Vikings just because they're at home.
Hmm.
And Sam Darnold and Jefferson have a connection going. They look pretty good. Houston, I don't know. They look kind of even against the Colts, they didn't look that great. They looked okay. And last week against the Bears, they also looked okay. So I'm gonna take Mini. Mini has impressed me. I didn't think they were gonna be this good, but they have impressed me in these 2 weeks. So I'm gonna take Mini.
Yep.
I'm going to go the opposite. I still think Houston's too talented to lose this game. Uh, there's just too much talent on the other side of the ball. Darnold, Jones might be injured, as we heard. They don't know if he's going to play. The big loss for them. Um, and there's just too much weapons on the other side. I'm going to take Houston.
Yeah, this is tough because both teams have injuries. Joe Mixon is questionable with an ankle. Jones got hurt, but actually his backup Chandler played well, which is what led to Minnesota's victory, closing out the game with a 9-minute drive. Um, the I still think Houston's a really, really good team, but no team goes undefeated. And I think this might be a game where Houston falters. They almost lost to the Colts. I'm gonna go with Minnesota here. But I still think Houston's the better team. I just think this is one of those games where you go on the road. You had a couple of close wins, and then you lose one to an upstart team. So I'll take the Vikings. These are some tough games this week, guys. Like I had a lot of trouble picking a lot of these games. So um, I'll go with Minnesota. Won't be disappointed if Houston wins the game. Now let's go to a game that will be featured on my segment with Gil after this show, which is Locks of the Week. I'll get to that. I don't want to give it away now because we won't want you to watch the next show. But the LA Clippers, here I go again. I'm thinking basketball. The LA Chargers, who should still be called the San Diego Shitty Chargers, but since Jim Harbaugh's there, I won't call them that anymore. They go to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, who somehow are 2-0 with one offensive touchdown. They have what, like 90 field goals in 2 games, and that they're 2-0. I mean, go figure. JJ Watt is creating havoc and making a mess.
DJ Watt is killing it. He's the
Yes.
best defensive player in the
I
league.
mean, TJ Watt is he's creating havoc. If he's healthy, the Steelers are a different team altogether. Their record without him is something really, really bad. So just go check it out for yourself. This is going to be a running, defensive, low scoring game. I don't know if Herbert's going to play, but as far as I know, he's fine. Um, who to take in this game? I'll let you guys go first. Gil, who do you got? I don't know who to pick in this game.
Well, let's just keep kicking on field goals and field goals, and let's make it 3-0 for the Steelers. I just think the Steelers can stop the Chargers, and the Chargers cannot stop the Steelers.
Yeah.
And field goal after field goal, whatever, 12-9 you want to call it, take the under,
Yeah.
make it, for the Steelers.
Tony? Man, these games
Tougher
this
game
week,
than I
guys,
expected.
these are brutal games this week, man.
But I'm gonna take the Chargers. I'm gonna take the Chargers. I've been impressed with Mr. Harbaugh. I didn't think they would turn it around like this quickly. I've been impressed, and especially on the defensive end of the ball. They've impressed me on the defensive end of the ball because last year, the last 2 years, they couldn't stop anybody.
Right.
Their offense was always pretty good, but their defense was terrible. And so far, I've been impressed with their defense. And when you got and the Chargers have the better quarterback. So I'm gonna take the Chargers just because they have, and it's not by a little bit. So by a lot, they have the better quarterback. I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Well, here's the thing, Barbosa. When you go from passing 40 times a game to Harbaugh's power run game, your defense is going to be on the field less because you're running the ball the whole game. I mean, J.K. Dobbins leads the league in rushing. They've run the ball 40 times in both games. That's going to keep your defense off the field. And so your defense is fresher. They're going to be a lot better than they were. They still have playmakers on the team. They got Khalil Mack and Bosa out there. So now they're on the field less, therefore they're going to play better. This is Harbaugh treating Justin Herbert like Alex Smith, and I don't mean that as an insult. Herbert's
No,
throwing the ball 16 times in the two wins. Like he's not throwing the ball at all. They're just running the whole game with two running backs and throwing little outs to the wide receivers. So
but they
Herbert's
know if they need to go to a shootout like that, they have the quarterback to do it.
Yeah, they're protecting Herbert, even though he's still getting hurt, which is amazing considering he's only thrown
Yeah.
the ball 16 times a game. I'm going to go with the Chargers too, just because I didn't believe in the Steelers to start the year, and I'm not going to believe in them now that they're 2-0. Fields has been okay. He hasn't turned the ball over, but I think the Chargers are going to get to him. But this is going to be a low-scoring field goal game that can go either way. But I like the Chargers in this one. But again, like I mean, it could go either way. Um, let's get to the Eagles. God, I hate this team. The Eagles, who found a way to blow a game to Kirk Cousins at home. The coach is a disaster. They lost AJ Brown. They couldn't throw the ball at all. Saquon Barkley drops a winning touchdown or a winning first
Yeah,
down.
but that's a bad call. Why would you
It's a
throw
really
the
bad
ball instead
call,
of running it?
right? Here's the thing.
Run out the clock.
Not only do you make a ridiculous call on the pass, then when fourth down comes, you don't go for it. That's even dumber. Like you run the ball on fourth down, you run the clock down as much as possible to a minute or less, and then they can go 97 yards. Here's the other thing, because you're only up 3, they're going to most likely go for a field goal. At worst, you're going to OT. When you kick the field to go up 6, that means you're giving them a minute 30 to come get 7. Now, I didn't believe Kirk Cousins could do it, but when you see that Philadelphia secondary, it's very easy to get to them. So it took 3 passes and they were already on the 5. I couldn't believe it. So the Eagles found a way to choke that game away. Congrats, Kirk Cousins. You finally came through on a primetime night. But I still don't believe in you. Now they play the New Orleans Saints, who are the surprise of the NFL. They absolutely annihilated the Cowboys last week using the Green Bay model, as Gil would know, just running all over them. Kamara had 4 touchdowns. I have him in both fantasy teams. I was a very happy man having a 40-point night on both my fantasy teams. I lead both in the standings because of him. Thank you very much, Alvin Kamara. And Derek Carr, it cannot be argued, is an early MVP candidate. Having said that, I believe New Orleans is going to crush this team. And I'll get to that on my next show when we talk about it. The Eagles are a team that's falling apart and are going to fire their coach. New Orleans is a surprise team that is going to eat that secondary alive. Barbosa, who do you got?
I'm gonna take the Eagles.
Wow.
I'm gonna take the Eagles. I'm gonna
Wow.
take the Eagles. I think I think this is a bounce back game for the Eagles.
On a short week after
Um,
the Monday Nighter? Wow. Okay. All right.
I think they're gonna run the ball more. Um,
They
they
ran it
got
last week,
six,
Barbosa. They ran it last week. It didn't make a difference.
but just I, I'm still I don't know,
Yeah.
but I still
Okay.
like the Eagles. I think New Orleans has to come back down to earth. Um,
Not
I
against
don't
that
think they're
secondary.
it's but it's Kamara that's killing them. It's not
Yeah.
Carr. It's Kamara that's making that goal.
Yep.
It's not Carr because Kamara has been amazing for these first 2 weeks. But I just have a feeling Philly will end up winning this game. I think New Orleans will come back down to earth. And so I'm gonna take Philly. I'm gonna take Philly.
All right, Gil, who do you got?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Andrew. I just think Philly's going in the wrong direction. They're starting to lose a little faith in the coach. I kind of disagree with you guys on the call because if you think about it, the call wasn't bad. He was wide open. He's just the one that didn't catch it. There's
True.
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the call.
Mhm.
You
Um,
run
That
the
is true.
clock, man.
no, but I'm
You
saying there's
run the
nothing.
clock.
Considering he was wide open, the play call was perfect. He just
Yeah.
needed to catch
Yeah,
it. I don't know why the player
Yeah.
has to
yeah,
catch that ball.
True.
but
That's
Atlanta
true.
had no timeouts. Atlanta had no timeouts.
I
Run the
understand.
ball. The worst you can do is kill clock if you don't get that first down. It's
And
kill
they were
clock.
gashing them. They were averaging 6 yards a run. They were gashing the Atlanta defense. I understand what Gil's saying. Two things can be right.
Yeah,
I just, they were trying to be cute and it cost them. But Gil, who do you got?
yeah, I agree. They were trying to be cute.
Yeah, I just think that secondary is a little bit weak. Carr should have a field day, and Kamara as well. I'm gonna take the Saints.
Yeah, the Eagles side, that team, I don't know. I don't know what to do with them. Um, let's go to the Green Bay Packers. Gil, they found a way. They ran the ball 35 times with Jacobs, which we called last week, and Willis only had to make 10 passes work, including a play where you tell the story, Gil, where the center threw up on the football. And it
Yeah,
became a great story after on the touchdown pass. And Barbosa, I'm really, really sorry. Your Colts were an embarrassment in that game. It was like you scored 10 points against that defense. Anthony Richardson goes 14 for 30 and throws 3 picks. It was an ugly loss for your team, Marcos. You
What
can't
else? What
say
do you want me to
nothing.
tell you?
You can't say nothing.
I can't say anything. It was an ugly
Um,
loss.
so they go to Tennessee to take on the Titans. This is a game. These are the games I like to call revenge games because Willis is going back to the team that got rid of him. Having said that, I'm taking the Packers because they're going to win this game for Willis, and they're going to have his picture all over the wall, and they're going to be coming out yelling his name, saying "Let's get the Titans!" And they get to play Levis. And let me tell you, Green Bay is going to have a few picks and sacks in this one. I think Gil's shaking, already nodding his head. So I'm gonna go to Gil. Who do you got?
all this is going to be a field day for the Packers, especially their defense. Get ready for turnovers. Packers are number one already in most interceptions in the league in 2 games, and not just by a little bit, like by a lot. I think they already have like 6 or 7 interceptions. Watch out for that second. The centers, the CBs of the Packers are dangerous. And yeah, well, they're going to do it for Levis, but this is going to be a part two. Exactly what they did to Indy, they're going to do exactly Tennessee. They're going to run it down their throats with Jacobs. I'm just a little scared they might warn them out a little bit. Next, Love comes back and then Jacobs is gone.
Yeah.
A little worried about that, but Love will not show. I know they're doing questionable. He'll not play. He'll probably play week 4
Yes.
because I think that even if he was ready to play, I think they're just going to give this one to Willis.
100%. Yeah. Absolutely 100% true. By the way, the Titans, they fight hard, but they have no offense. They gave the Jets a battle just like they gave the Bears a battle, but their offense. Will Levis with another horrible turnover, and the coach even lost on him. Said it's the dumbest play he's seen, and so Tennessee's having trouble already without their bell cow back, Mr. Henry. Pollard's been good, but Levis has been terrible. Barbosa, you go looking for another upset?
No, I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah, there's no
I
way he
I
can't take
I
Will
told you
Levis.
guys about Tennessee. I don't like
I didn't
Tennessee,
like
man.
Tennessee coming into the year.
Well,
It wasn't me.
Your buddy Jose was all over. Ah, they're one of the best teams in the South. I okay. They're worse than my Colts. And the Jack all those teams are 0-2. So
Yeah,
we're all in the same situation. But Tennessee, like you said, Will Levis, he
yeah,
hasn't shown anything that he can lead that team. Their offense looks terrible. Their defense is what's kind of saving their season a little bit, but no, the Packers will win this game.
yeah. Let's see if we can squeeze in one more before we take a break. Let's go to the G-men, who, as we predicted, found a way to lose to rookie Jaden Daniels, who's looked pretty good. They go to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Daniel Jones against the best defense in the league. I got the Browns. Barbosa.
I'm gonna take the Browns. I've been on the Browns. The Browns hasn't haven't looked they've looked okay. Defensively, they look the same as last year. Offensively, they look a little bit better on week 2 than they did the first week. Um, but yeah, it's just the Giants. There's no hope. The Browns, man, I feel sorry for Daniel Jones. Oh my God, I feel sorry for Daniel Jones. We might see even Tommy DeVito come in this game.
Remember, Barbosa said week 3 we're going to see DeVito, and this could be the game Jones gets knocked out.
This might be the game. We'll see
So
Tommy DeVito.
Now, what's saving Jones is Singletary is a decent back, and Malik Neighbors is an excellent receiver. It's saving his ass right now, but we'll see. But last week, and Gil's going to enjoy this. They annihilated Trevor Lawrence. Absolute Myles Garrett just was all over Trevor Lawrence. Had no time to throw the ball.
Oh,
Gil, who do you got in this game? I'm sure you have the Browns. You're not taking the G-men on the road. I already know that.
No, no. It's gonna be a long day for the G-Men's offense against that defense, and Deshaun Watson is just gonna, sneak it in there. They'll win by maybe 2 touchdowns. I take Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we're going to see Tommy DeVito there, Barbosa. Somewhere at some point we're going to see him. It's going to happen.
trust me, Daniel Jones is gonna be eating grass all game.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. One thing the Browns have is a great defense. Their offense is horrible, but I think when Chubb comes back, we might see a change in them when Chubb
Yeah,
comes back.
that when Nick
Um,
Chubb comes back, it's gonna be
yeah,
I have a feeling it's gonna be a
yeah.
total different offense.
Like I understand Watson's been terrible, but like I don't think he's really had much of a chance to play with Chubb. And I think when he
Yeah,
does, maybe we'll see more play action and he'll be a little bit
yeah.
better than he is. But they have no choice. They have to go with him. The dead cap hit is 170 million. So he could have to play him. And maybe Winston comes in if he's that bad. But he snuck out an 18-13 win last week somehow against that defense. So now, because I want time for the next game, we're going to take a break. But we'll be right back on the Reese Report. Guys, don't go anywhere because it's only going to be a 1 minute commercial, okay? And then we're going to get to the Colts and the Bears. Oh my God, Barbosa, what is going to happen? Your boy might be getting hurt this week too against that Bears defense. We'll be back to preview that one next. All right, welcome back to the Reese Report. We took a short little break and we're going to get back into our picks now. Let's go to the Chicago Bears with Gil's favorite quarterback, Caleb Williams, who has been an unmitigated disaster through his first 2 games, throwing picks, getting sacked. He looked a little bit better in the game against Houston in the first quarter and a half, and then it just went downhill from there. Missed a lot of receivers, threw some picks. Had an opportunity to beat Houston because of the Bears defense, causing fumbles on the one and all kinds of stuff, but they came up short. They go to the equally inept Indianapolis Colts. Barbosa, I've already said it, not pretty for your team. Will they pull it off against the Bears defense this week, or will it be a very long day for your boy, Anthony Richardson?
No, the Colts are gonna win this game because I have no, it's not I have a feeling. They are gonna run the ball more. I think this is the game they're gonna use Jonathan Taylor more. He hasn't been used that much. I think, and I think that's why the Colts will win this game. And they're at home, so I like the chances at home.
Gil, this is a tough one for you because I don't think you like either one of these teams or quarterbacks.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But I have to agree on Tony on this one. I just have that feeling that at home, uh, the Bears offense is just not clicking either, right? So I don't know. I just feel I'm gonna just say Indy at home. I'm just gonna stay quiet and say Indy at home.
Barbosa, I'm going to be real with your Colts. Jonathan Taylor ran the ball 12 times for 103 yards. What in the world were they thinking not running on the Green Bay's defense?
You know,
It doesn't
I
make
asked that
any
question
sense.
also.
Gil Santos, who has been a fan of the team for a long time, but last time I checked is not a coach, knows his run defense is shit. Right, Gil? Okay.
The
They
only, the
run the
only,
ball.
the
They
only
run the
logical
ball.
answer I have for you with that is Green Bay was up early. That's it. That's the only logical answer I have for you on that. They go up 7-0. I think they kind of ruined their game plan a little bit. And I think the coach um, deviated away from that game plan. And that's what happens when you deviate from your game plan. That was an early touchdown. They were up 7 early. You still have time to run the ball. I think that's what happened, my honest opinion.
This is a really tough game for me because I like the Bears defense a lot. Um, Um, so you have Indy, right, Gil?
Yeah.
Bears defense has been as good as the Bears offense has been bad. And that's what makes this game so hard to pick.
Right.
I mean, yeah, right. Um, I liked Indy at the beginning of the year. Both team, well, the Bears are 1-1. I'm gonna take Indy because I think Indy has to win this game. If you're gonna try to make the playoffs, you can't be 0-3. They're lucky because both the Bengals and the Ravens are 0-2. And the Jags are 0-2, the Titans are 0-2. So Indy still has a chance if they can just win this game at home against the Bears.
Miami's
So
0-2.
right. So I think this is an important game for Indy to win at home, a big game for Richardson to show up. And I was originally going to take the Bears, but I'm going to take Indy because I think it's more important to them than the Bears right now. Even in the Bears division, like who had Minnesota leading that division? I don't think anybody. So the Bears are still in it despite the fact that they're 1-1 and look awful. The hope is that Williams will get better as the season goes along, and they have their full complement of receivers. But I'll tell you this: Williams missed Keenan Allen last week. He had no safety valve to go to other than Swift out of the backfield, and that didn't work out because Houston was all over that. So um, we shall see as the season goes on. But I got Indy in this one. Now let's go to the Miami Dolphins. Out of this team, just they can't get out of their own way. Um, Before Tua got hurt, and I hope Tua's okay. He had a very nasty concussion that has been talked about in nauseam. He'll be out at least 4 weeks with a serious concussion. He's going to get neurologists to look at him, and we'll see if he comes back. Barbosa and Gill know who Skylar Thompson is because they went to go see him in a live game, which was funny. So they know more about Skylar Thompson than I do. But it will be Skylar Thompson starting in this game. I believe he won that game too. Did he win that game you guys went to?
No, Minnesota won.
No. That Minnesota won.
Minnesota
Okay.
won and the last,
The
I
last
think
kick of the game.
in the last drive also too, right?
Yes, yes.
I know they won in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So we will see Skylar Thompson. We're not sure about Raheem Mostert yet, but everyone else is healthy. Miami was absolutely horrendous in that game against Buffalo. Even before Tua got hurt, Tua looked like he was very hesitant. It looked like he was fumbling the ball on handoffs. He was off target the whole game. It was just not good. Buffalo owns Miami. I should have known better than to take the Dolphins. They go to Seattle to take on the Seabags, who are 2-0. They've played two pretty average offenses, and now they go to take on the Dolphins. But because of the injury and Seattle's surprising defense, I mean, they didn't really face anyone, but their defense was okay. And Geno's played well, so I'll take the Seabags in this one until I see Skylar Thompson play a game. Gil.
Same thing. Quick one for me. Seabags, Miami, a lot of injuries. Tyreek Hill's gonna have to connect with Thompson somehow. I'm pretty sure their reps at practice weren't enough. They have no chemistry. Mozart's out. I don't know. The defense is not that great. Buffalo exposed that defense. And I think Seattle's gonna do the same.
James Cook I mean, man, I must be lucky, guys, because I had James Cook and Alvin Kamara in fantasy this week. Like, you can't get a better running back combo in week 2 than that one right there. They had 7 touchdowns combined, which helped mitigate Tyreek Hill's bad week. Barbosa, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Seattle. They're at home. I thought this was a bad matchup, even with Tua,
Yes, I agree.
but
Yeah.
now without him, it's even worse. They're no, it's gonna be Seattle's winning this game, and it's gonna be blowout.
Um, I don't think it'll be a blowout. I'll say that.
Mm,
I think it'll be close, like the Minnesota game was that you guys went to. I think Miami will run the ball a lot, and I think Seattle's going to do the same. So they'll be close until the end. Miami's run game might just save them, like Gill's run game with the Packers saved them. So I believe the coach is a decent coach. I think McDaniel's not stupid. I think he'll know if he has
yeah,
Mostert and Akane played well last week. They just got behind
yeah.
and he couldn't, so If they can run the ball like the 49ers did in the past with Alex Smith and God Jimmy G at quarterback, then they might get away with Skylar Thompson,
Yeah.
keeping it close. So we'll see. But the Seabags should pull it out at the end. I'm not going to waste too much time in this game, even those two shit bowl teams. I know Barbosa. I know right away who Barbosa's picking in this game because it's Carolina at Vegas. Um, Carolina is starting Andy Dalton as the Panthers have given up on Bryce Young after 2 games. Um, I don't know how that's going to work out for them, but I see him being traded in the near future. Vegas, you know what, Antonio Pierce, I'm going to give you a lot of credit. You know how to motivate your team because he basically said everyone thinks we're dead. We're an 8.5 point underdog against Baltimore, and we're going to go out there and beat them. And they've beaten Kansas City and Baltimore in KC and in Baltimore the last 2 years with the Bears. Having said that, I got the Raiders winning this game. Sorry, Andy, you're not the answer. Barbosa.
I don't even know why I have to pick this game. I'm gonna take the Raiders. Carolina,
What a train wreck.
if you want to die as a quarterback, that's where you go. To go to Carolina because they had Baker Mayfield in the past 3 years, and they had Sam Darnold, and both in Carolina were
Yeah,
they leave Carolina. Look what happens. So a lot of people are saying, but Bryce Young might be a terrible quarterback. Let's hold on. Let him go to another team, and then we'll see how bad he is. Because in Carolina, I'm sorry, but they ruined their quarterbacks, and the pieces they gave up in the last few years.
oh man.
My God, McCaffrey, um, the white out that went to the Bears,
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, um, and and a few more. They
Yeah.
they, they give out good pieces. It I don't know what the hell's going on in Carolina. They're gotta be probably the worst organization in North American sports. So
Yeah, I
I
might
don't know what they're
owe
doing. Even with Andy Dalton replacing replacing at quarterback, nah. Sorry, the Raiders are winning this game.
Yeah, I may owe Darnold an apology. We'll see, because Darnold had 3 good games with Carolina, then went in the shitter, but he played for the Jets and the Panthers, both places where quarterbacks go to die. And now he's in Minnesota, where Kirk Cousins somehow made a career out of it. So maybe he'll be all right. Gil, this is the ugliest game of the week. What do you got?
Raiders.
Yeah, this. I mean, what is there to say?
You guys
Um,
said it all. I don't need to say
you
anymore.
know, Minshew Magic, baby. Minshew Magic. They went to Baltimore and won. They should be able to beat Carolina at home. Now let's get
Yeah.
to those Ravens who cost me my damn survivor pool. Idiots losing a 10-point lead with Derrick Henry running the ball like crazy. You run him one time in the fourth quarter, and you get beat because you want to make Lamar Jackson the hero. The Ravens have clearly not learned from last year's mistakes. And John Harbaugh is going to be on the hot seat if he doesn't smarten up. And I hope he talked to his brother Jim, because if you want to run Baltimore the right way, you run it like Jim runs the Chargers. Pretend Lamar Jackson's Alex Smith, because that's what he is. He's inaccurate with the football and likes to run around all day. So treat him like that, and let your runners run all day. I know Henry's old, but he's been running 30 times a game his whole career. So, having said that, they go to Dallas to take on the embarrassment that is the Cowboys, who gave up 300 yards rushing last week. Um, Baltimore is the much more desperate team, in my opinion. The Cowboys are ripe for the picking when they have a team that can run the football on them. I'm going to take the Ravens because they can't go to 0-3. Dallas can afford to go to 1-2 and still win the division because the Eagles are shit. So I got the Ravens. Gil.
Yeah, I agree. Lamar has to have a big game, and Dallas at home. I don't know, man. They're just getting annihilated at home by everybody. Did
The
Jerry
last two
Jones?
games, 90 points allowed the last 2 games at home by Dallas.
Did Jerry did Jerry Jones make a mistake by giving Prescott the extension before the season? Maybe. I didn't agree with it. Uh,
They got no running game at all.
like even keeping McCarthy was that like there's a lot of questions in Dallas when last year ended, and he kept both of them, and they're getting the same pajamas
Yep.
again. And and you know how I feel with Trevor Lawrence, another waste of money that Jacksonville did. They just threw money out and seasons because he's not the go-to guy anyways.
Mhm.
But you're right. Not only they're just more desperate, I just feel like Dallas is another team that has no identity. They don't know where the hell's what's going on. So I think Baltimore's gonna take advantage of that downfall there.
I mean, they got no running game, Barbosa. If you double team CeeDee Lamb, they have no one to throw the football to. They're in a lot of trouble. If you run on the Cowboys, you're going to beat them. If you're able to run on that team, you're gonna beat that team. That's it's as simple as that. So, Barbosa, you made your pick, right? Okay, who do you got? Having said all that,
I'm going with the Cowboys.
yeah, you're going opposite, eh?
I
Okay.
just think that Mr. Arbaugh is not going to learn his lesson. He's not going to run the ball. I think he's not because he's too stubborn. And I have the feeling that the Cowboys, after getting blown out at home like that, they need to fix it, or else the fans are going to start to turn. And that's why I say the Cowboys might be more desperate than Baltimore.
If
So I'm
Derrick
going to take
Henry
the
does
Cowboys.
if Derrick Henry does not run the ball over 20 times in this game, John Harbaugh should be fired. It's ridiculous. You have to run the ball on the
I'm
Cowboys to do
telling
that.
you, watch. That guy is too stubborn. Look at the last 2 seasons. They had running
It's
backs.
yeah,
They
yeah,
haven't
I know.
you didn't use them.
Yeah.
That's
Take
what
some
I'm
advice
telling
from
you.
your brother, John. Take some advice from your brother and run the football. You'll win more
Yeah.
games.
So I'm gonna
Um,
go. I'm gonna go. And Baltimore has looked. They haven't looked like that Baltimore from last year where they dominated. They haven't. I don't know what the hell's going on offensively. Defensively, they haven't been.
the defense is a
They've
problem.
been
Yeah,
subpar.
yeah.
Not too impressed. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Baltimore.
Mm. All right, so Dallas it is. Let's go to my 49ers. Okay, Barbosa, you're going to get what you want now. Uh, my 49ers were not good last week. The offensive line struggled, especially at center. Jake Brendel was not good at all in the game. Mason still played well. Purdy had two really bad turnovers, one fumble and one interception. They allowed a 97-yard touchdown to Jefferson. Never should have happened. And Minnesota ran the ball on us without much issue. Mistake after mistake, you're going to lose some games. We lost Debo Samuel. The injuries are piling up. It's getting scary for my team. Having said that, they're playing the Rams, who have more injuries than us. Cooper Kupp's out. Puka Nakua's out. Their best receiver is Demarcus Robinson, who's a third receiver. They're going to have to hold Kyron Williams as a great day. Even Stafford might be a little bumped up. Um, Having said that, the 49ers are going to win this game behind Brock Purdy. Gil.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna say the 49ers, they're both banged up, to be honest with you. But obviously I think Cooper Kupp and the Kua there, the receivers is a big hurt for Stafford. And the Niners still have their defense. But it might be closer than you think. They're both banged up. They're both hurting. The Niners defense wins this game, and I take the Niners.
Barbosa.
I wish Jose was on the show. I wish Jose was on the show because man, your Niners look terrible, terrible last week. And McCaffrey is the key for your offense. Okay, McCaffrey is the key. Not Debo, not Brock Purdy, not Ayuk. Is McCaffrey. That's that's your weapon. Because without McCaffrey and sorry, and Williams, Trent Williams, your tackle.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm sorry, Reese, but man, they can't help that offense. In saying that, the Rams put up only what 3 points? Was it 3 points or six
10,
points up on the
40,
Cardinals?
41-10. They lost 41-10. Yeah.
41-10. That touchdown
Oh my
was
God, Barbosa, you're gonna get
that.
your wish.
Oh, Jose. You came
You're
at the
gonna get your
perfect time,
wish.
Jose. You came at the perfect time.
Yeah, never mind the fucking bullshit. Let me.
Oh,
Now it's
you
my
came
turn
at
to
the
talk,
perfect
bro.
time.
I
Buddy,
just fell
your
asleep, and now
Niners
I just
lost to
woke up.
Sam Darnold.
What?
Okay? Sam Darnold.
Well, what happened?
Okay? To Sam Darnold. Been saying that. Going back to my pick, I'm gonna take the Niners. They're the better
Okay.
team. Like you said, they're the Rams offense is in shambles without the two receivers.
Yeah, they got 3 offensive
So
linemen out. They got 2 receivers
yeah,
out.
they're
It's
offensively they're poof, and never
yeah,
mind offensively, and their defense looked terrible against the Cardinals.
yeah.
Which I picked the Cardinals to win that game. Kyler Murray would look like, and boy, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the truth.
Well, he
Is
actually
the
threw the ball to him, Barbosa. It was about time he threw the ball to him.
he's the
So,
truth. That guy's gonna be a big receiver.
Barbosa,
So
we're about 10 picks in. I made my comments on the 49ers. Do you want to talk about what happened to the 49ers last week?
like I said,
me?
you
Yeah,
guys
you
you guys
Jose.
lost to you guys lost to you guys
Purple,
lost
just
to
shut up because you lost to a fucking Green Bay Packers
that
with a
doesn't
backup
matter.
quarterback and a
Hey,
shit team.
hey,
Listen, don't even start. Don't even talk about the Niners. First of all,
hey,
the Niners
you
can't beat
you guys lost, you were
Minnesota.
up. You were up. You were up in that game.
We were losing in that game. Check the game. We were always losing in the game. I don't know what the hell
never,
game you watched. We were never up.
Yeah,
We were always losing. Anyways,
Marple.
bro, listen. First of all, the
No,
Niners
but
haven't
like
won
I
in
said, hey,
Minnesota.
listen, I'll give you the only thing is, and I told Reese, is your guys ain't going nowhere without McCaffrey. Plain and simple.
Listen,
He's
you're
not
not
why we
going
lost
anywhere
anyway.
with Richardson, with Taylor, and whatever
Doesn't matter.
players
We're
you
not
have in your
expected
team.
to win the Super Bowl.
And-
We're not
okay, but
expected to win the Super Bowl or
listen,
make it to
why
the Super Bowl.
why are you even
are.
talking about the Niners, bro? Why are you even talking
You
about the
are.
Niners? First of all,
We're
the
talking
best
about
team
the
in the
Niners. This is the game we're picking.
All
We're
right, let's
picking the
go,
Niners.
Jose.
That's why.
let me
That's why we're
because you
talking
already
about
talked
the
about the show
Niners.
because you're shit.
We're picking the game.
You're shit.
Okay, guys. Okay,
You're
let me
shit.
hear what Jose has
Okay,
to say
okay.
about the
No,
first.
I know, I
Go
know.
ahead.
You don't want to
Go
hear
ahead.
it. I hear,
First of
I
all,
hear you.
First
Go
of
ahead,
all,
Jose.
like I said, I after the show yesterday last week, I even said myself, I won't be surprised if the Niners lose in Minnesota. And if you guys heard that,
Yeah,
the Niners haven't won in Minnesota in 32 years.
that's
Okay,
true. I said
30
that.
fucking 2 years.
Yes.
The last time they've won there, I was 8 years old, buddy. 8 years old. Okay, I don't even know what fucking football. I just finished coming from fresh off the boat from Portugal. Okay, but anyways. Listen, it was a bad game. Even last year, they played a shit game in Minnesota. I don't know. I guess it's like a place
It's
where
one
the
of those
Niners
places.
can't win the game.
Yeah.
It's a place where the Niners can't win. They're fine. The defense played good. There was a couple tip interceptions by Brock
Jose,
Purdy.
they gave up a 97-yard touchdown to freaking Jefferson. That was terrible.
But it happens, man. It happens. It's one of those plays that over the top, and he outran the defense. Dude, Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the game. I don't care whatever people say. He's the best wide receiver
I
in the
agree
game
with
for a
that.
reason.
It just
I
shouldn't
agree
have
with that.
happened. You have two guys there. He shouldn't have run by two
Yeah,
guys.
well, he outran them and he caught it and he outran them. That's all it is. I don't have no problem. I think this week they should have no problem with the LA. They own LA in the regular season. They haven't. I think only the last year was to them, but it wasn't even meaningful or anything like that.
It wasn't. It was the last game of the year. Yeah.
So
you're taking the 49ers.
Yeah, LA's mangled with injuries. And hey, whoever the fuck Colts playing this week, I'm taking whoever the Colts are playing is this week.
What we're going to do is, before we continue, Jose, I'm just going to quickly ask you for your picks before we get to the next pick. So, New England at the Jets.
Oh, the Jets are going to win that game.
Okay. Denver at Tampa Bay.
Buddy, you guys with your Bo Nixes and Bo Nix and this and Bo Nix that, bro, please. That guy's shit, okay? I told you guys at the beginning of the season the MVP was Jaden Daniels, and he's been outplaying
and he's been shit too. Shit. Didn't have a touchdown. None of them have a touchdown.
Have been shit. All the rookies
he
have
has
been
no
shit.
interception, and your boy already has so many interceptions.
All of them playing
all
shit.
of them have been shit.
No, not really. Check the stats. Jaden Daniels has been playing good. Well, I don't know about you guys. I don't know.
How many touchdown passes does he have?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Zero.
need to
How
do
many
touchdown
touchdown passes
passes.
do you have?
He has 2 running.
How
Okay,
many
that's what
rushing
I
yards
thought.
does he have? How many passing yards does he have? Exactly.
So?
Check the
Does
stats.
not have a passing touchdown.
Daniels,
So what?
Daniels has been
None
the
of them
best one.
do.
Buddy, you guys have to admit the best quarterback right now that's been playing as a rookie is Jaden Daniels. Don't tell me it's
That
Bo
is true.
Nix.
That is true.
No. That's been playing, but they're shit. They're all shit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Jane Daniels hasn't been too impressive either, Jose.
No, he hasn't
They
been
almost lost
impressive.
to the Giants.
what?
They almost lost to the Giants.
But listen, you got your shit team lost to a helpless quarterback that can't even throw a ball.
Well,
And
they
doesn't
ran
even
the
know-
ball.
Yeah,
They
they
ran the ball. What do you want me to tell
But
you?
what happened? You guys had the amazing defense. You have amazing defense. You have a great defense. I mean, get out of here, you and your shit coach. Anyways, next.
I said
next.
amazing defense. When did I say
so-
amazing defense?
Last week.
Okay, make your picks. Don't worry.
But Jose, you have Tampa Bay, I assume.
Against
You have
Tampa Bay, of course.
Okay. Houston at Minnesota, tough game.
Houston should win this game. I think they're real well rounded team. Their defense will blitz the hell out of Sam Darnold, and I think the Minnesota gets a dose of reality this week.
LA I did it again. LA Clippers. LA Chargers at Pittsburgh.
You know what? Jim Harbaugh hasn't playing good, solid defense, run the ball. But you know what? I can't go against Pittsburgh right now. Pittsburgh's defense is playing lights out. Justin Fields been doing he's been doing his thing, not turnovering the ball.
Yeah.
He's been getting them in field goal positions and stuff like that. So I'll take Pittsburgh at home on their home opener.
Pathetic Philly against the Saints.
Oof. I don't know. You know what?
At New Orleans.
I think New Orleans is due for a loss here.
Yeah, you're with Barbosa
think-
on that one, eh? Okay.
I think New Orleans are on the high, scoring all these points, but
I don't think the
You know
Eagles
what?
secondary is going to stop them.
well, you never know. Anything could happen in football. Whoever thought the freaking Ravens were going to lose to the freaking what was the last week? The Raiders
Minshew
went
Magic.
up by
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Went up by 10 and they end up losing the game. But no, you know what? I'll take Philly. I think Philly's rushing defense, running offense Barkley will cause damage there.
Gills Packers at Tennessee.
Jordan Love's supposed to play this week. I think he's playing. So I'm taking. I told you guys last week. I was taking the Packers with one-legged Love to beat the stupid Colts. This week he should be back. I think he should be fine. Levis, I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Oh
Man,
my God.
that guy's
He's
throwing
terrible.
picks, and then he's passing the ball on the
Backwards.
ground like
It's
backwards.
yeah,
I don't know. That guy's weird. Until he sorts himself out, then I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
yeah, think about it. Bryce Young gets benched, but Will Levis is still playing. Just think about that, boys. Giants at Browns.
Browns should win this game. Browns defense.
Yeah.
You know what? Deshaun looked impressive last week. He was rushing. He was passing the ball. That defense is always going to keep him in the games. So yeah.
Yeah, I was saying to the boys, it'll be interesting to see when he actually gets to play full time with Chubb. I don't think he's done it since he's been a Brown, so we'll see how they do. Chicago at Indy.
Oh, that's not even a question. Where were we even talking about Indy? Indy's like the fucking the Pittsburgh Pirates of fucking NFL football. Please, they can't even beat a backup quarterback. Can't throw a ball. All he does is know how to run. And they knew they were going to run the ball, and they couldn't still stop the run. And then their offense, supposedly Jonathan Taylor's one of the best running backs. Couldn't even run on the shit defense
No,
of the Green Bay Packers that can't stop the run.
no, he did run. He ran the ball.
Yeah, he
for
ran
100
like
yards.
in the second half when they were already all fucking already down by like 13
They
points.
should have run on the defense. They
Listen.
passed early.
Yeah, let them pass because they're dumb. They're a shit team. I told you guys they're gonna finish last. Colts are shit. Why are we even
No.
talking about this team? Man, listen,
Jose,
next
Jose,
time,
Ri-
next time,
Richardson 3 picks. Don't forget.
yeah, exactly.
Jose,
There goes your
Jose. The Titans are worse than the Colts. The Titans are worse than the Colts, Jose.
I don't know, bro. I don't wait until they play each other. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
Hey,
know.
you
I rather.
The Jaguars might be worse than the Colts.
It's okay. I told you they're gonna finish last. Yeah. Hey, Jaguars always beat the
True.
Colts in the regular
True.
season.
True.
So even when they were shit, they only won 2 games. They would still beat the Colts every year.
That's
the two
right.
games that
That's
they would
right.
win. So that shows you how much the Colts are shit. Anyways, why are we even talking about the Colts?
Yes, Miami at Seattle.
Next, what Miami at Seattle? I don't know, man. With Tua there, it's gonna be difficult for them. They still have offensive weapons, the HN and Waddle, but Seattle's been playing well, man. Seattle last week they squeaked out by New England, but I don't know. It's hard to, especially your first game coming back against the again in the 12th man in Seattle. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take Seattle. I think Seattle upsets them. Well, I don't even know if you consider that an upset, but
No, it's not an upset. No.
Seattle's favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's because Skylar Thompson's his first game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? When he played, he did play well, and he made him go to the playoffs, and he played good against the Buffalo Bills in that playoff game that they lost.
Yeah.
So it's not like he doesn't know the system or anything like that.
Right.
And he still has got Hill and Waddle and all those guys.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game. It'll be a close
Yeah,
game.
it's gonna be a close game, but I think Seattle speaks it out.
Carolina at Vegas.
Carolina's the shambles. I don't know. I don't know if it's the GM or if it's the president or whoever made this call of benching Bryce Young. I don't understand. How can you bench your star quarterback, your future quarterback, after 2 games with the new offensive coordinator, a new coach, a new everything? Like, how do you expect this kid to?
It was the coach's decision.
Yeah.
Trust me, that wasn't
the coach went up to the owner and he told him,
the coach,
you want to win or you got to bench Bryce Young.
The coach goes after the game last week, says he's my quarterback, and then all of a sudden 2 days later he's not his quarterback and he's gonna bench him.
It was the coach.
I just agree with both you guys. I think the locker room made that change. I think there are guys in that locker room that are like, listen, we need something. We can't go with this kid right now.
Listen, but that team does. It's not just the quarterback; it's everywhere, man. That team needs an overhaul.
We spoke about if you want to die, if you want to be a quarterback and die, you go to Carolina.
Yeah,
you had Sam Darnold, and they had Baker, and look at them now. They're much better quarterbacks.
Yeah,
you haven't talked about the coach. You go die in the Colts too, or you get injured for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
just like your
you
boy Luck
as a quarterback.
Yeah,
Philip Rivers didn't go there to die. Philip Rivers had one good year.
Yeah, one good year. And what happened?
Well,
and you ended up losing anyway. They're still shit, bro.
Playoffs, no kidding. We won a round. Philip Rivers won a round.
You lost in the first round. You lost in the first round to the Bills.
All right,
but anyways,
let's go to the game of the week: Baltimore at Dallas.
Oof.
There's some tough games.
You know what? I'm going based on they need this game more. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I just think they'll run the ball. They'll run the ball. And you know what? I just don't think they have the outside weapons of Baltimore, like the wide receiver and stuff like that. Besides Zay Flowers, they don't have any guy to get open and stuff. And you've noticed that. I don't know if you watched a couple games this year. Besides Zay Flowers, I don't even know what the hell's happening with Mark Andrews. Like, they're not even giving him the ball. Like, I don't know what's going on with that team. They're supposed to be a rushing team, but they don't rush the ball as much as they should. And then I don't know, their defense. I think losing Queen and linebacker was a big loss for them. But I just think they need the game more. So I'm gonna go with Baltimore in this one. Cowboys. I don't know, man. They're an up and down team too. Like, they can put up the points, but then their defense are getting ripped apart by the Saints. Like, I don't know. It's a tough game. It's a tough game to pick, but I'm gonna go with Baltimore just because they need this game. They can't afford to go 0-3.
Okay, so let's get to the rest of the games. We have Detroit, who I correctly predicted would lose at home to the Bucks. They go to Arizona to take on the Cards, who finally decided to throw the ball to Marvin Harrison. Jose, go ahead and make your picks.
I'm gonna take Detroit. I think this is a bounce back game. Um, I think they underestimated the Bucks last week, and but what with a great performance by Hutchinson, what 4.5 sacks, and they still lose the game like that. Um, I think it's a bounce back game. This year I don't see St. Brown this year. I don't think he's. I don't know if something's wrong with him, but he's not the same player as he was last year, and they're struggling to in the offense because of that. I think Williams has been playing well for them, but I think they need St. Brown to step up a little bit more. But in saying that, I think Detroit will bounce back. Uh, Arizona will keep up with them offensively because they have firepower too. But I think the Lions will make a couple extra stops and they'll pull off the game.
Yo,
Yeah, I agree with Jose. I think the Lions just have that little edge over Arizona. It might be on defense too. Arizona, Murray's gonna run around. Connor's doing his thing. He's having a pretty good season too. So Lions have their hands full. Would I wish Arizona to win? Obviously, I'm a Packer fan, right? But I'm gonna give the edge to Detroit.
Barbosa.
I'm actually going to go with Arizona. And the reason why I say Arizona is because if you look at it, their defense, they haven't been terrible. The only time they had problems was with a running quarterback with Josh Allen in the week one. When Josh Allen was throwing the ball in the first half, they kind of fluffed them. Josh Allen didn't do anything, and Matthew Stafford didn't do nothing last week against that defense. And they have now a legit wide receiver. That guy is going to be a number one receiver in a couple years. And he's tall. You can't cover that guy. And like I said, to get to Kyler Murray is going to be a bit tough. I know Hutchinson, I like his game, but the way Kyler Murray's running around and the way that offense is going, I'm gonna go with Arizona at home.
I agree. I'm going to take the Cardinals. Um, when you're the surprise team, it's a lot easier. When you're the team expected to win, it's a lot harder. So I'm going to take Arizona at home. I don't like what I've seen from Detroit. Bad clock management at the end of the half cost them points. Dan Campbell's mistakes on fourth downs coming back to haunt him. Um, I think if they do that against Arizona, they lose. Their offense has struggled, and Goff has struggled with interceptions. So I got Arizona. Now let's go to Kansas City and Atlanta. I'm not going to waste any time on this. It's Kirk Cousins against Patrick Mahomes. I got KC. Barbosa.
I'm gonna take KC, and I don't like that in prime time. I don't like
Yo,
Kirk Cousins prime time. So it's not
yo,
gonna be you like that? No, it's gonna be like
yo.
I also easy KC as much as I don't really like them to win, but they're gonna win.
Jose.
If it wasn't on a short week, I would have taken the Falcons, but it's on a short week, so I'm gonna go with take KC in this one. Um, KC hasn't been impressive, man. Even last week, they should have lost to the Bengals if it wasn't for the stupid referees making up these pass interference calls and this bullshit again.
that
It's
wasn't
it's
pass
I don't.
interference on that
It
drive.
was, yeah,
That wasn't pass
dude.
interference.
What?
Wasn't pass interference
The guy
on
got there
that drive?
before, but like it's not like he fucking. I've seen worse already, dude. You've seen
Well,
worse already, and
I
it
don't
wasn't
know,
even called.
Jose.
they seem to always
You
Yeah,
make
don't
the
it's
know?
like
call. That's
Just
basketball.
what
look,
Jose
just
said.
look at just
It's
look at the NFC Championship game. The guy gets tackled before the ball comes in there
it,
against the Rams against the Saints,
Jose.
and there was no pass
It's like
interference there.
basketball. It's like
It's,
basketball. The good
yeah, it's
teams
just like
are gonna get the calls. You know, it's like
yeah, of
basketball.
course, yeah. But
So
Yeah.
it's getting to a point.
I get it.
It's
I know what
ruining
you're
the
saying.
football.
Yeah,
But it's whatever. It is what it is. But the KC should win the game. But I don't know. Like you guys, you talk shit about Cousins last week, and then what happened? He pulled up with two touchdowns, then they won the game against the Eagles. But
Yeah.
anyways, and this week they should lose. But if it wasn't a short week, I would have taken Atlanta in Atlanta. But I'll take a KC in this one.
All right, let's go to Jacksonville, Gil, I'm going to give you credit every single week. Trevor Lawrence is terrible. He's 1-8 in his last 9 starts. He got absolutely annihilated by Myles Garrett last week. They go to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Bills have trouble beating Jacksonville, but this is not in London, so I have the Bills. Gil?
Yeah, and I can't even believe Jacksonville paid this guy like big money.
Terrible. Terrible.
Terrible decision. Horrible, horrible for. I would have just ate up his contract and released that guy because that's how garbage that guy is. But anyways, the Bills win this easily at home.
Jose.
Yeah, I think the Bills this week too. They've been playing well, and like I said, they have no names, but they get the job done. So Shakir is catching the ball for them, and their defense is stepping up. They played well against a good Miami team. So I'm gonna take the Bills at home.
Barbosa.
I'm gonna take the Bills because the real MVP is Josh Allen, and the early season MVP is Josh Allen because he's doing it without no weapons. They're playing amazing. I didn't think Buffalo's defense was going to be this good. So far they've been okay, and like I said, and Josh Allen's been playing like an MVP quarterback. So I'm gonna take Buffalo.
Well, last week was the
And
Cookie
Jacksonville
Monster. To
stinks.
be fair, last week was the Cookie Monster. It wasn't Josh Allen last week. The James Cook
No,
took
but I
over.
understand. No, for sure. But
Yeah,
like he's playing, he's playing on another level right now.
yeah. He knows that it's up to him if they're going to win this year. But I think Cook is. I think that Cook's good, and I think that he'll have to play well this week. Josh Allen to win. Last game, Monday night. There's 2 Monday nighters. Washington goes to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Bengals unfortunately got to 0-2 last week. Very unlucky. This is not going to be a fun week for Washington and Jaden Daniels. The Bengals have to win this game. They will win this game, and they're going to go to 1-2. Jose.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Bengals need this game. They played much better last week. They should have won that game last week. And saying that, yeah, Washington, like you're not gonna expect them to do anything crazy. But like I said, Jaden Daniels has been playing well for them. He's not turning over the ball. He's moving the ball for them. He's rushing. He's passing and stuff like that. But against the Bengals, I'm gonna take the Bengals down.
Yo.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna. You know me, I don't take Washington, right? So,
Except last week.
the Bengals should have won. Well, that's because they played another shit team, right? So, um, yeah, the Bengals are gonna come viciously. They should have won last week. We saw that bullshit call. I agree with Jose. It was soft. It was a 4th and 16. It's almost like the refs gave it to them. Yeah, Joe Burrow's gonna have a field day. I don't even think it matters who's on. They're just gonna pound this team.
Yeah, Washington's defense is not good. Barbosa.
I'm gonna go with Cincy. But Jamar Chase doesn't look great. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's the contract that's
Of course, it's the
bothering him.
contract. Of course, it's the contract. Absolutely.
But in saying that, Joe Burrow has been week 1, he didn't look that great. Last week he looked good against that KC defense. So he's getting back into form. So I'm gonna take Baltimore. Like I said, and like you said, Reese, Washington's defense not that good.
Yeah, so you're taking the Bengals. Okay, so those are our picks for this week. I thank Jose for coming in late and the boys for coming on. That's our show for this week. We will have another show. It probably won't be tonight, but we'll have another show with our 3 locks of the week against the spread. But we won't be doing that tonight, but please join us for that. That'll be a nice little quick show where we give you our locks of the week, try to make some people some money. But for now, I'm the mouth of North Dan Jerice. That's Tony Barbosa, who had a really rough week. Your Colts better play better this week because Jose could have gave it to you a lot worse. That's Jose Carlos Gomes. We need a rebound too. And Gilbey Santos, who can't be happier. Mr. Throwing up on the ball, Malik Willis. We will see you next week on the Reach Report, and hit my music.